Do you feel like they kind of just decide in the moment that it's like, we're not beefing about this anymore? Fuck
no, yes, but no. Like, we're not gonna do this here.
Yes,
right
I got that vibe. I got that vibe.
Yeah,
because
it's like beefing with your girlfriend in public.
Exactly.
But I compared it to like, all right, these are two old heads. They've known each other for a long time. This is probably not the first time they got into an argument. So it's like,
yeah, because they probably go back.
They might have
20 years probably.
It might be beef, but maybe like that nigga took my bitch back in the day beef.
Yeah,
like,
but you know,
Wallo, my fault, but Wallo also kind of disarmed everything when he was like, nigga, beef is when people are about to die.
I was gonna. That's what I was gonna bring up.
It's hard to instigate more after that.
It is, and I meant to bring that up because I hate it, but I can't be mad when old niggas use that line.
Jail niggas
specifically, because I can't act like, yeah, literally the definition of beef was when people died on both sides, right? Even though I look at when somebody says they're beefing online, I'm immediately thinking content. It's like, yeah, they might really hate each other, but they're just gonna curse each other out, and they're not gonna kill. They're not gonna punch on each other. You know.
It depends, but yeah,
it depends on the people.
Are usually 40 plus.
Usually discourse, just regular discourse.
Right. So it was like when academics brought that up, why y'all beefing with Joe? And he was like, we didn't got no beef. Beef was when niggas die. I was like,
call Joe right now.
Yeah, you know what the nigga meant, but it's over now. Now I can't really press it no more.
You can't have fun no more. Wallo, it's like you just chilling with a slut and she say something about trauma.
Yeah, because it was like, if you could have just said, but I forget, I do the same thing when I'm talking to old niggas. Like, I forget how serious that word is for some of them, you know? Like, it's just hard.
You can't debate an old head about nothing and not take it seriously.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a fact.
But yeah, Wallo, I mean, he definitely exaggerated it just a little bit.
It was a good disarming tactic too.
It was definitely a good disarming tactic. It's definitely a prison tactic.
Yeah,
just to see
Genius.
how serious AK wanted, how far AK wanted to go with it, and then he
kind of tested him.
He doubled down. Was like, nigga, call him.
Yeah, and then they called him, and then Joe.
He was, I don't got beef with them bald headed niggas.
No problem. We finna sign Joe.
Yeah.
As soon as this deal's up, we don't give a fuck about Joe.
Gillie was doing a terrible job of hiding the fact that they not all the way good.
Well, I think it was a little bit. Yeah, he was. I think it was a little bit harder for him too, just because he was on camera, and he was trying to telegraph when it was happening too.
Yeah.
Because remember, before academics even got there, academics was just kind of like talking, and he was like, "Yeah, because you know when this something like that, go ahead and ask us about the Joe thing, man." You know, he's like, Yeah. Go ahead and ask about the Joe. I know you want the bullshit. Ack was like, no, I'm not even talking about Joe, but Beverly let me get to it though. You know what I'm saying? But he was trying to like kind of rush him there just so he can get that part out the way thing. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was definitely on some, man, we ain't about to argue on this nigga's platform over the phone.
Yeah.
Live
right
on a
now.
podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
he not even here for us to properly hear his response.
Exactly. And it's like Joe low-key sounded like he was napping.
Yeah.
Or like he just got up from a nap.
That nigga was like, you know, me and $1 million, we're both influential in the game. Like, he was like drowsy than a motherfucker.
And it's funny too because it's like Wallo was like, I don't got no problem with Joe. And it's like, yeah, Wallo never has a problem. Wallo don't have problems with nobody.
Because
but we always
everybody love that nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wallo's so serious. He's been in prison.
No.
He's trying to get money.
Right. We're not wasting time with anything.
Podcast residential Yogi nigga. You are ours.
No. Oh my God.
It's the same shit. This is y'all come from the same angle. Nigga.
And now I think it was more of what
Peace and love.
He's just not. Yeah, when you spend 20 years
You're not with
in
the
the
bullshit.
box,
Yeah.
he did 20 years.
He 20 years.
Yeah,
He was 20 years in jail.
years.
Yeah, in prison. 20 years.
And
Yeah.
he seemed like one of them kids that was never really like a true criminal. He just kind of got caught up in shit.
I think no.
Nah, he was doing
him,
shit.
him and Gillie was
Yeah,
out
they
there.
was running-
Gillie
they was running
doing
doing
shit.
shit.
He
but
had- He had spoke about it and he said he knew he was wrong.
Yeah.
But he was still
was out
doing
there.
that
He
shit.
was
out
still
there.
doing it. Obviously, 'cause he got
Okay,
caught.
I think I see what you're saying.
But Gillie seems like a more of like an evil Knievel.
The nigga
like,
starting it.
nigga,
Yeah.
You think it could have been more of like a crack era thing where if you get caught with half a gram of crack, you do 20 years.
Something
like
like
one
that.
of those things where like just the laws weren't even nearly
Yo.
favorable in that time period.
When you look at a nigga like Wallo, like that looks like his life story.
Because remember there was niggas back in the day in the 90s, they was getting, or in the 80s, getting 10, 20 years for weed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
They in there
it
right
could have
now.
been something light like that. If that's the angle you're kind of
Wallo the type of nigga to get caught speeding as soon as they change the speed number. the
Right,
speed limit.
yeah. But, yeah,
bad
that was
luck.
kind of, kind of anticlimactic. You know, their whole.
The
no,
Joe
it wasn't.
thing. Yeah, it
Black men
was.
aren't beefing,
That's
which
true.
we should celebrate.
That's
Yes.
true. We
It's
should be
black
celebrating
peace,
that.
nigga.
That's true.
You know
Yeah,
what I
we
mean?
should.
This is
You
actually
should
the
have
most
the
climactic.
same reaction Adam 22 had on IG Live.
I want to see coked out. I want to see coked
Yeah.
out Adam only right now.
Drugs.
Coked and zannied out or dopamine out. I don't give a fuck what the influence is.
Just need to be off something.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's turning
If
up the
you
level
can't-
of the
If you
shit.
can't see it from a distance, you involve yourself in it if you want to. You know
Yeah,
what
he's
I'm
less
saying?
funny when he's sober.
Yeah, he's less funny when he's trying to do right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right,
Nigga,
right.
pop a pill. Nigga, let's get cracking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's like him being, yeah, like this is the real him. Like him,
Yeah,
the Adam we've seen for the years. He's been controlling himself.
Yes.
He's been sedating his
Yes,
true
nigga.
nature.
He's been avoiding the full moons.
Nigga
Yeah.
go crazy. So it's like we didn't get to see that from like $1 million worth of game, which is respectable and that's fine.
It was a good ass episode,
Honestly,
man.
at the same time, I don't really care because I really don't want to see them like curse
Like
each other
that? Yeah,
out.
nah.
I'd rather see like Joe Budden talk about like your small primary bedroom window. I'd much
Yeah.
rather that's way more entertaining. You know
That's
what I'm
hilarious.
It's great.
saying? Yeah, so it's like I'd much rather see that than anything else.
And would you
I don't
like
know.
them? Would you like to see them all do something together? Because I
Yes.
remember I heard Joe Budden say something to that degree.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think they will.
Maybe
I
we
think they
gotta
will,
get
and I
together.
think it'd be great.
That's like all podcasters' final. That's our final move in all
Yeah.
It's
things.
just a time and place thing.
It's just a time and place thing. It's always has to end.
Let's go ahead and
With some
whatever we
sort
got to
of-
do, let's do it in our own space together, so we both get the content off of it and we
Yeah.
keep it pushing. If
It's
we
always
have to.
got to. That's how all podcasting sagas have to end with a sit down.
Yeah.
Has to.
Yeah.
So
The merging of the worlds.
it's
nigga.
got to. Yeah. It's if it
Break
doesn't,
bread.
it's just kind of like whatever. But one thing I will say now that we kind of brought that up like that. I would say that like podcasts don't merge worlds nearly as often as like political figures and stuff. Like political figures, like they get on ABC and CBS and they kind of, well, no, they're on their own channel, so they're
And it depends on what world you're looking at. Like in the
Yeah, that's
Joe
true.
Rogan sphere, comedian
They're clashing a
lane.
lot.
Oh, yeah, they pass each other around.
Collaborate.
yeah. There's a lot of
It's
worlds
a lot of
colliding,
cross-pollination.
right? In
Yeah.
hip hop, there's less. I would say in like hip hop, in the black and hip hop space,
From podcast to podcast, yes.
From
Yeah,
podcast
like you're
to
not seeing
podcast.
Gillie and
Yeah.
Wallo going math.
right? Yeah, exactly.
And then Mav going them, and then
Regularly, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Joe, I mean, only when they're doing press runs.
Yeah, with his friends.
Like, because Joe went on a press run and went on a bunch of different podcasts for a second.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's right.
it's
Yeah,
not
he
like
did.
Tom Segura is on like
Yeah.
every other week.
Right.
You know
yeah.
what I
Does that
mean?
mean like when somebody's there every other week? Does he live in Texas? You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be one of those like you live
Nearby,
an hour, or
yeah,
you live
yeah,
an
yeah.
hour and a half away from me
Yeah.
anyway.
And
It
a lot
is
of-
easy for me to stop by if you need somebody to pull up for the show.
And a lot of the comedians, because you know he has his own comedy club, so a
Yeah.
lot of the comedians he has
Oh.
on, they
They're
might
in
be
town for that anyway.
they
They
might
in
be
town,
working
yeah.
tonight.
Okay,
you talking
that
about Joe
makes
Rogan's
sense.
comedy club, the Mothership?
The mothership.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
impossible for somebody to not be there, pretty much.
You
Like,
kind of have to be there if you
Yeah.
in that world.
true.
That's
Yeah,
like
that makes
Hollywood
sense.
for you.
That makes sense.
And
Okay.
plus, and yeah, this comedy club he supposedly built is supposed to be the new hot spot. You know what
To
I
get
mean?
your drill jokes
Yeah.
on.
It's supposed to be
Yeah.
like the new like generation of what they're gonna start doing with comedy clubs. Too.
It's like Rumble.
It's like he's trying to like kind of open up a new way to do things.
I wish I knew an
I
older
don't know.
comedy club to
I think
get.
so.
You know,
The Laugh Factory.
I think like
The
their
laugh-
pay-
Yeah, the
I
laugh-
think like their pay scale and pay structure is like different and better for comics too.
Got you.
I believe.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Joe Rogan doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
comics comic.
That's true.
Yeah, that's another thing I heard that he's putting on like he's putting people in front of bigger crowds than what
Yeah.
they
Different-
normally
yeah,
would have
different
been
things.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
And he
So
could
it's
take
like-
that type of like perceived loss because it's for
Right.
the art.
And it's like I think it's like a 300 to 400 or 500 venue. You know what I mean?
Which
So
is-
They got
Yeah.
different rooms.
Yeah, because the comedy club, most of even the
got
larger
different-
size ones, they're like 150, 200. You know what I'm saying? So if it's 4 or 5, because
Yeah.
like Raleigh Improv,
Probably about I think
that's probably about 200,
300 maybe.
maybe 3 max.
in this one room.
Yeah.
one room,
Yeah,
yeah.
this
See, the
joint is
comedy
two,
Mothership, he has
two
different rooms in
yes,
there.
or might be more than two,
Oh,
but yeah,
damn.
different rooms.
Okay,
It's
so
like two
yeah.
different stages or something.
I
like
think it might be 3.
He
two or
might
three,
have
yeah.
3.
Yeah.
He might have
He's on
3
some other-
Raleigh
3 rooms.
Improv.
Like
Where they
there's a
can run
big
different
room,
shows
a
at the same
small
time.
room, and like a medium-sized room,
Yeah.
and niggas bouncing back and forth. from it.
Okay, yeah, that's a little different then.
And I think like I don't know, it'd be 5. It sounds like this green room is centralized, but I have no idea. But
yeah, the nigga made a club. We went to a club downtown Raleigh. What was that shit called? The one
comedy
with
club?
The two. It had 2 floors. One was
Yeah.
like hip hop. The other one
Solus?
was country.
Wait, what was
It was
Solus
on
at one point?
Glenwood.
It was
it used to be Solus.
It's at the end of Glenwood.
Yeah, city.
Tree.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Tree.
Treetop.
Treetop.
Yeah.
If you live in Raleigh,
Something
shout
like
out
that.
Treetop.
Yeah.
I ain't never been there.
Yeah, I went there once. It's pretty straight, but they young. in
Country's
there.
upstairs and hip hop is downstairs.
Yeah, they young in there. Though.
Vice versa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was some baddies in there, but it was young shit.
Oh, I seen it. I've never been there.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Okay, yeah.
There's
was
nothing
there-
to shout out. I'm surprised he did it.
When I was there, there's some
Raleigh,
baddies in there.
Glenwood
but-
Avenue is for the whites. It is not for black people anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a place you can go to where you can hear a hip hop song that
It was
has
mixed
the
in there.
beat hasn't been destroyed
EDM'd
by
out.
some EDM
Or
bullshit.
just from the 90s. Strictly.
Or yeah, if it's not Flow Rider era, it's
Yeah.
We was out with
Nelly and shit like that. You're not getting no Lil Baby.
and you can't wear cargos.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? You're not getting
nothing.
nowhere.
Nope.
You feel me?
You got too many compartments. You a dangerous individual.
Velvet Rope Racism.
we don't know
what
what
it
you
is.
concealing.
Click the video right there in the corner. Gotta run that up again. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember how we got there either.
Yeah.
How did we get there?
Talking about podcasts, going to podcasts.
No, we just landed.
and then talking about
that's
like
right.
the
Yeah.
cross pollination
It
of
was,
the
yeah.
cross pollination of like same field.
$1 million worth of game.
Type
But
of
yeah,
And how
that's
thing.
much worse does this make Charlemagne look now that he still hasn't been off the record?
Say he's going to.
Literally
funny.
everybody is gone before him now.
Yeah, that's true. But it was funny